Morning folks, it's Phil here again from Telford Koi Pond on an absolutely glorious sunny day in Telford, suitably kitted out in Le Scruffy Pond attire, so that obviously means I'm up to another job this morning. It's amazing how you keep finding things to do, isn't it, around the pond. Today's job is, what should we call it, Operation Anti Heron. So I'm sure if you've watched other YouTubers' videos of late, you'll see the herons are coming out of the woodwork now because it's spring, and obviously they're looking for nesting and feeding their young, I presume. I'm no expert. So we're lucky enough to live in a semi-rural location, I would say. We've actually got a nature park all around the side and all around the front of us. So, and we've got several big lakes all over the place. When we had the previous pond, the heron used to be a regular visitor to the wall, where since we've had this pond, he stands on top of next door's garage and just gazing down. So I hope the netting and everything, keeping it quite enclosed, would deter him, but I just don't take any chances basically, and particularly if we go away for a while, then I want to know that I'm leaving this absolutely safe and secure. So options, but like Andy, get a security guard to sit out here all day and all night just watching the things. Nice one, Graham. If you are available, then let me know. Otherwise it's nets or you know, something similar to that. So in terms of nets, first idea, what I thought was get some long hook and eyes. I don't know if you can see this, and inside each of the 6 posts, what I've done, I've gone round and put one of these hooks on. So the idea was literally to get a piece of netting and stretch it across the pond. So netting number 1, which I already had in the shed, like just normal garden netting, it's just as flimsy as anything, so that was rubbish. That went out. So I've got some much stronger netting, which is you know, really good as netting. I got myself so tangled in this, Claire nearly had to call Greenpeace to come and cut me out. So give up that idea. So what am I doing? Let me stop you there and snap back to you, and I'll show you what I'm up to. Action. So what I've decided to do is build some frames, and what I did last year, at the end of last year, was put that netting on you've already seen, but I wanted it to be more secure, heavier, blah blah blah. So what have I done? First of all, frames, timber, or should we call it living gold, because of the price of it. Unbelievable. If you can get hold of it, you're lucky, but then when you do get hold of it, it's mind-blowing. Anyway, as you probably know, rough sawn timber is massively cheaper than smooth plain timber. So me being a little bit economical with my pennies, I've got 12 of these rough sawn timber posts, and then spent 2 hours of my life last night with a sander, sanding them all down, and I think that's pretty damn good, to be honest with you. I'm going to take all the edges off. I'm just going to go up and down with it and take all the edges off, because these will be sitting on the pond, obviously, as the frame, and they'll be quite close to the water. But that's the frame. Now the cunning plan for the top, so no netting. What I'm going to try, this might be an absolute failure, but if you don't try, you don't know. What I've got is this stuff. So I was going to buy roll, but obviously when you buy stuff on a roll, you've got to flatten it all out, and then it's very flimsy, whereas this stuff is very strong. So it's, I think it's either 16 gauge or 19 gauge, plastic coated, 1 inch square mesh, whatever you want to call it. I think it's for fencing. I think it's supposed to stand up that way, and you put fences. So what I'm going to do is, so yeah, this is the plan. I'm going to put this on a square frame and put it over the pond. Obviously it will only be on when we're not using the pond for any great length of time, or if we go at holidays. So, you know, in theory, Mr. Heron can come along and he can stand on here and he can walk along, and he can obviously he can get his beak through, but I don't think he'll get it through far enough to do any damage to the fish, even if the fish are underneath him. So, you know, it's a bit of trial and error. The nets worked okay last time, but yeah, let's just see how it goes. So I'm going to take the edging off that. Jill from Wayside Koi, if you can get over here in the next half an hour or so, I've got loads of staining to do, so you know, if you're feeling up to it. If not, my good lady wife will probably help me out. So I'm going to paint that black, and then I'm going to make it into box frames, and then obviously I'm going to sit that on the top. So I'll come back to you in a bit when I've started it. You can see what I've got up to. Hi peeps, just a very quick update. It's just gone lunchtime. Spent the whole morning sawing and measuring up and painting, so sorry about that. So just snap you round. There we are. So there's all the 12 side pieces cut to length and painted, and then we've got all 12 end pieces or centre pieces, whatever I'm going to do, all cut there, painted. Again, it's just waiting for paint to dry now. Literally waiting for paint to dry. My mesh is ready to be put on the top of the frames. Temporary fish feeder is up at the minute. Just waiting to sort that out afterwards. Fish have just had something to eat, so they're all swimming round. But yeah, as I say, I'm literally waiting for paint to dry. So I'm just going to go in and have a cup of tea, turn these over. I've got them in full sun, so hopefully they'll dry fairly quickly, and then I'll come back to you when the one of the frames is knocked up. See you in a bit. So back again, folks. There's the first frame finished. It's like you know, just a basic frame basically, and then the mesh will just literally, he said doing it one-handed, mesh just obviously fits on the top of there, and then screw it down into place, and then the whole thing should become solid, and that should be easy enough to take on and off the pond. If you're wondering why the at this end, if you're wondering why the cross members are so far in from the end, because the inside of the cross members is where the pond is, and I want that sort of to come up where the pond edge is, whereas I want as much bearing as possible onto the across the pond. It'll probably make more sense when you see it in position, but I'm going to get this one screwed down and crack on with the other ones, and I'll come back to you. Back again, a bit later, folks. There's the first one done. I might put a few more screws obviously around the outside. They are stainless steel, so they're not going to weather. But that is the first frame done. And I don't know about heron protection. I think this is golden eagle protection, mate. There ain't no condor getting through that. So I'll go and throw it on the pond, and then we can have a look what the first one looks like. There we go, peeps, there's the first one on. That's what it looks like. So it won't win any beauty competitions, but it's easy to handle. It won't bow in the middle. It's giving more clearance off the water than the other ones were. And yeah, so hopefully this will sort of, you can see what I mean by how I've positioned the struts. I don't know if you're going to see that, but this horizontal here is sort of flush with the pond. Need to pull it in a bit, but that's sort of flush with the pond there. So if I'd have come right back to the end here and put the horizontals down here, you'd have had like that much coping, and I was concerned about the fish jumping up, and I know the chances are they go back in, but that's it. Now the intention with this obviously is to I'll just get my little chop saw out and just cut this off, make it a bit tidier. But at the moment I'm really chuffed with that. As I say, it's excuse the poo in the pond, looks like they've been having a party. But yeah, the next one will just butt up to it, and so on and so on and so on. So right, there you go. It took me half a day to get one done, so I'll go and crack on with the others now. Come back to you once it's all finished and you can have a look at it. Cheers, bye. Well people, I am absolutely cream crackered. It's gone 6 o'clock. It took all day to do this. But I'm really pleased with the end result anyway. I say I might just trim the ends down here just to cut that list a little bit out, but having said that, I might leave it whole because I can obviously just unscrew this and use it again. But there you go. I'll touch the screw heads up to you know, just hide the stainless steel screws. Feet are just plonked in the middle at the minute, but to be honest, it's quite stable because the feet fit down the holes. So that's it. As I say, it's not meant to be on all the while, so I appreciate it's too unsightly to be left on there. But you know, in terms of if we're not coming out to the pond all week, or if we're going away on holiday or something, it's really strong. As I say, I wouldn't say you could stand on this, but this mesh ain't going nowhere, and I can still see the fish through it anyway, so that's good. All good in the hood. Okay, I'm going to call it a day there. See what else we get up to tomorrow. Cheers, see you later, bye.